SVG. My name is Pearl Whitney here, and this morning is a very interesting morning, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a guest online with us, and we are very, grateful for the patronage. All right. So before we begin, let us first say good morning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to the entire region. Good morning to you. Good morning to all our teachers, nurses, and doctors this morning. We know that this is difficult times, all right? We are hearing about some potential war that is about to begin, and we have to give thanks that we are not in that state yet, although it may affect us, all right? So let us give thanks and to the Almighty and hope that this doesn't escalate and that we are, getting the full wrath of what is taking place. Yeah? So let us reach out. We say good morning to all the folks, the chefs on the island, and this is on the Grenadine Islands. We say good morning to Canawan, Beckway, Union Island, Mustique. Good morning to you guys. Good morning. We were told that our minister spoke about the tourism sector and what we can look forward to. And this is good news. Yeah? Very, very good news. And I'm looking forward to this. All right. Now, I don't know what is happening with our gadget this morning, but we are hoping that it can remain this way. Yeah. So we've had a little conversation with a former athlete of Trinidad and Tobago who told us that he's going to be with us this morning, Mr. Charles. Let us sincerely hope that Mr. Charles can get through on the program this morning. And while we await on Mr. Charles to be with us, let us remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that our children in school right now, you know that the traffic is still on, although at 8 o'clock. This is a bottleneck at the roundabout, and we ask you please to comply with the police and the regulation around the roundabout. All right. Now we're also looking at some of our events really that is coming up. People look forward to Invest SVG, and they are coming up with their Buy Vinci Expo. Yeah. Buy Vinci, buy local. Yeah. All Vinci. Yeah, that is what it is. And we are hoping that persons can go and call Miss Angelina Young and get yourself registered. Speak to Mr. Glenn Beach. Get yourself registered if you have your business and you would like to showcase what you're doing. Please do so. So we have Mr. Stephen Charles with us on the program this morning, and I'm seeing him online. Mr. Charles, good morning to you, and could you please send us a request so that we can add you in on the program, all right? And we await Mr. Charles to join us. All right. I think we are going to have a very fruitful conversation this morning via this program. And I'm really, really looking forward to this. So we can ask Mr. Charles to join us, send that request, to say to join, and then you click it and we would have you on. All right. We'll let you in. Yeah, beautiful program full of substance. Thank you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had our Vincentian Buy Local team, and this is in November actually, and it's going to take place at a different venue because you guys know that we once used to be host in Kingston under the Geese Shed and whatnot, and we were told that it is due now for extension. So we will have those information coming up for you later on this week where you learn how to get your stuff marketed and so on, right? Now we have the young entrepreneurs who probably have just started and their business and, would like to be part of it. Let us take this opportunity to welcome you, to go to the Invest SVG and get yourself registered. It is not too late. Let's go to this. Yes, and let's add here. Yes, so adding Mr. Charles with us this morning. We really would like to see most of the young people who are engaged in programs and so on that can join. All right, so I am not seeing your face for some reason. Good morning to you, Mr. Charles, and welcome to Good Morning SVG. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning to you, Ms. William. How are you?
I am great and wonderful, blessed.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Mr. Stephen Charles with us, as we said. Mr. Charles is an engineer by profession, a former athlete of Trinidad and Tobago, and an author of his book. And we'll learn about this book. What was the reason behind this book? Tell us, we're going to learn about the motivation to continue moving on regardless to the odds. So let's take this opportunity now to welcome you, Mr. Charles. And, first of all, let us go into the program to ask you first to reintroduce yourself. I may have left out something, but I know you would be able to, to fill in for me. All right, so please introduce yourself.
Hi, my people. How are you? It's a pleasure being on your show, Miss Williams.
Yes,
My name, Stephen Charles, basically. I was born in Trinidad. I spent a couple of years in the service. Took some time off and came up to Boston, Massachusetts for college
yes,
purposes. I pursued my career as electronics engineering. Um, Basically, I'm 61 right now. Be turning
yes,
62 just now, and what I do most of my time, I do a lot of writing. So I happen to publish my book, Be Different, They Not Like Me. It's basically my memoir, my life story. And what I can say basically is that the reason what made me go to that point to write this book is basically about the life of people who undecided as young people, right? I made
yes.
some silly mistakes, and if I could share it to the others, it will save them time and energy at the later on.
Okay,
What I always say to basically, you don't rush into things that you're not ready for,
yes.
right? And
Okay, wonderful.
most young people, as you know, want to rush life, and then
Yes,
the consequences they can't handle.
yes. Okay. So, Mr. Stephen, you would appreciate that there's a lot of misconception in our society today. And who are you and I to judge anybody? And sometimes the circumstances are quite different because, depending on your background, your education and whatnot, you see things in a different perspective. And then, it is very hard to argue, the point where people at this stage in their life not understanding and not having the level of education that you expect them to have so they can respond to you accordingly. However, I would like to hear your story this morning about, motivating young people, especially when they feel they're ready for something and they're not. So please share. I know that you started this book, and as you indicated that you're writing your life story in this book and was not in an effort to inspire other persons and was not, and we'd love to hear about it. Now, the first question I'll ask you, what propelled you to go to this level to start writing this book? That's the first question. Hmm.
It's so difficult to really explain, right? But when
Yes,
I left Trinidad for college purposes, like I told you, I did electronics engineering.
yes.
For a couple of years, I was already married, away from my family. But
Mm-hmm.
I was on what they call a program, no pay leave, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So therefore, the reason why they have no cost to pay me because it's nothing to do with my job, right?
Yes.
I was
Mm-hmm.
actually a law enforcement officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
what I did is, like I said, I did electronics engineer, so they would not have given me any. They wasn't responsible for my leaving, so I
Yes.
took that on my own initiative. For the 3 years I was here, which you call a visa, right? And for just study purposes, I had to still maintain my family home, meaning I was
Yes.
not working, but I was surviving, meaning I had to do some impossible things, right? Leave Boston, go to New York, buy stuff, sell on the streets, just to make the two ends meet, to make sure I send my money back for my family so they wouldn't have to depend on no one else. And with that said, now I had to study, right? It was really tough. At times I really wanted to give up, right? As you know, but I didn't. I persevered. But the sad part about this whole situation was basically leaving Boston whilst on vacation to head back home and recognize when I went back home what I was expecting, I didn't get it. My ex-wife basically was out of the country without my knowledge, leave my kids with a lot of friends, and it was really frustrating to see my situation. But I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't expecting. So it was something I had to make a decision if
Yes.
to continue with someone who portrayed to be my partner or my enemy, right?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I
Mm-hmm.
made a decision, right? I made a decision which I shouldn't have, but I have no regrets up to this day, right? I
Uh-huh.
still, after graduation, went back to Trinidad, got them a visa, and
Yeah.
she left to come back. That coming back I told you about is like never came back,
Wow.
right? But it's fine because when I realized that not everyone that smiles with you will be a friend, right?
Yeah.
It taught life is a stage that we learn. We shouldn't complain about our failures. It's supposed to be a
Yes.
learning lesson for us, right?
Right.
And this is the reason why I dedicate myself now to helping young people, right? I do a lot of life coaching, right, to young people. Like I said, this is what very motivated me to write this book, and I went into depth
Yes.
so people understand that men try as well as women,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
But the fact of the matter, not everyone that you draw into your circle, right, will be
Yes.
that person that you expect.
Yes, I understand. Okay, so let's take a pin here. What you would have explained, and I hope that our viewers are taking notes and are also listening. In recent times, when I say to people, experience is the key at some time. But not only that, starting from zero, and you grow, you grow, you learn while you grow, and it is a painful, very painful experience that you give your life, your loyalty, your respect, your love, and what's not in any given relationship, and for some reason it is not taken with any sort of with any seriousness. And we know when you speak out, a lot of men coming, if they will say to me, allow me to get on this program, Ms. Williams, I would like to explain myself and what's not. I've had that from Barbados, from Trinidad, and now a Dominican asked me yesterday to be a part of the program. I would love to have them on the program, right? Because the men are being targeted, stating that they are having affairs and that sort of thing, and they are not saying what caused the affair. Now, in my view, and to some extent, to some experience, um, you in a relationship for many years, let's say for over 30 years or so, right? In that relationship and what's not, according to the old people, teeth and tongue must meet. Yeah. Some men believe that, you give birth to your children, your bust is no longer up, your tummy has stretch marks, things like that. And your shelf life, you aging, and your shelf life, understand me, is over with. And they believe by having a younger woman, that they fit the purpose. And so they start complaining and start nagging and start, putting, and this is when they want the way out. Now, quite a number of young women, and some not women, are speaking out because there was a conference recently here in St. Vincent that women speak out, after giving birth, after nurturing the children, just what I'm saying, and the men decide, okay, the wife look old, so let me go and look for youngie or a little outside stuff, right? But I say in every relationship, communications is the key. And when you can communicate with your spouse, I think you are able to speak and let people know your differences and so on. All right. So at this point, I would ask you this question. What was the communication strength in all of this? This was something that you had to work on. How did you find the strength to end this particular relationship after your children is being raised by friends or your neighbors and what's not? How you were able to handle that? And this is a serious question because some people really don't know how to handle situations like this, and we'd like to know, to say to my viewers how you were able to handle that or to weather the storm.
All right,
Yeah.
so all right, let me get to that point, right? You see, miscommunication, it could be
Yes.
very detrimental to a relationship, miscommunication. Because I will tell
Yes.
you something. At the age of 22, I was promiscuous, I got my son. It's not with someone I really want to live my life with, but how I grew up with our parents, I commit myself to that relationship, right?
Yeah.
Um, for instance, as a ex law enforcement officer, I used to do electrical work. So I never had time to idle. I always have something to do for my
Mm.
family.
Right.
What happens is that I want to make it very short so you'll understand sometimes what people go through, right?
Yes.
Basically, it was like this. I was working at duty at time. I think I was actually explaining to you in Salvatore building. And this particular individual came up who I knew with my friend, a police officer as well, that I knew we used to hang out on Fridays. So when she came upstairs now, um, she wanted to interact with someone on the one of the staff. So I called the
Yeah.
staff out. They spoke. When she left, I told the staff, "Hey, I know your friend." She said, "No, that's my sister."
Mm.
Right? I said, I know her. She asked me, "Where did I know her from?" I said, "Well, basically, I know her boyfriend." And she
Right.
questioned me why, what kind of person it is. So I said to her exactly who it is, right?
Right.
Would you believe that that
Yes.
individual, right, was
Mm.
her boyfriend? So she was cheating on her sister boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it seems like
Mm-hmm.
when they went home now, they had an argument, and I was the one that sold her out. So she
Mm.
got my number from my friend and called my ex-wife and made it look as though I and her was together. So all these
Right.
years I'm living with my wife, right, my ex-wife, she believing that I was cheating on her, right?
Right.
Because the information went out like, as though like I would with her, I used to buy things with her and all kind of craziness. Only then I found out like 2 years ago. Now mind you, right? 22 years married, my son, we live with her 15 years. Then
Mm-hmm.
two, like I'm 61 right now, going to 62. This last 2 years I found out what exactly happened. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I made that decision to move on my life, is because of when I came back to the islands and I found out that nobody wasn't taking care of my sons after the time. My kid, that time was, it was two kids, I have, my son and my daughter. So that time when I came back and I saw my kids in a bad situation, when she was out of the country without my knowledge, I made a decision to say, you know what, that was it. Mentally, that was it. Right? So
Yeah.
I know for a fact a man wouldn't marry and leave or go outside. There have to be a reason, right?
Right.
Men don't speak, right? Men don't speak. They take till they can't take anymore,
Right.
right? I don't think, like I said, I don't think a man will go there because being promiscuous. It has to lead to something, right? It have people who sick. We know that as
Right.
a fact, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
my experience, and this is what I could share to the your viewers.
The audience. Yeah.
Right.
Now, while I understand all of this, sometimes we have to look at things deeper than what it is because I know that there are loyal women out there who's putting their everything in their
Yes.
relationship. And it is not enough that the men go out and they feel when they go out and they cheat that the woman don't know. You know, a woman knows her husband's scent. You understand me? She knows his behavioral pattern. She knows his touch. She knows what he likes to eat. She knows, especially if you are working, with a relationship for many years. You understand me? In some cases, you would be inside and you didn't see your husband or whatever, but you could smell it. He's somewhere close by. It's like these dogs. I'm just using this
Yeah, yeah,
intimate
yeah. Mhm.
aspect of this conversation. And they believe by interacting, not interacting, messing around with other people that you in the house don't know, right? Now, there's this inner spirit that we are not looking into that tells you that something wrong. It's people refer to it as instinct, but it's not. You understand me? You can't tell me as a man or a woman that you are intimately involved with somebody and you in the house and you can't tell the behavior, the way they speak to you, the way that they treat you, the scent that they have, and all of that. You have to keep, looking at this, While you were talking about all of this, that you went through this with your fiance, did you at no time pick up that something was wrong, that in this instant and was not? And if it did, how did you approach it in, like speaking to this lady rather than just saying that you take and you take and you couldn't take anymore? You understand me? I like to reach out in the depth of situations, because not that to say to you that you are wrong, but I believe that negotiations and even strong conversations, when these things arise, to find out what it is, right? Because let's say, for example, you live with your spouse for 30, 60 years or whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden, you call this man, he's not answering the phone. What will come to your mind, right? Secondly, and I'm putting you on the spot here this morning because I would like the public to know, you understand me, the red tape and all the different stuff, right? You are out there doing your work, providing for your family. And each time that you make a phone call to your spouse, they come across very upset. What do you call that? What is to come to your mind? You understand me? The third thing is, what will make a man walk out of his house without saying bye? Yeah. So the things that the men do, you pick up on it and you say, boy, something wrong, or whatever it is. And we have some men want to be wrong and strong and then go out and kill the woman. You understand me? Because they can't stand to see them move on or anything of the sort, right? And if you only try to ask a question, what is all of this? That is where the confusion starts, right? You have men now not making love to the wife, but they feel they could just take out the penis when it's convenience and just tell your wife to bend back and just do what they have to do, the intimacy start. You understand me? A woman like to be loved and respected, right? And she's at the point that no matter what and where do you work and what's not, a real man who has a family, your boss cannot tell you you cannot accept a family call. You understand me? Especially like what you said, that you are out and about and what's not, right? You cannot accept a call. And when women see these things, they start thinking, boy, this is what it is. But some stupid woman will ask the question, what did I do? Do you have to do something for these men to behave like that? Disrespectful. But they know if you come from shopping or some way to start looking to see if you're going for a shower, what you're doing. Some of them have their phone, you understand me, tailing everywhere that you go, so they put it on location and this stuff. But you as the wife cannot do that. And sometimes when we have this conversation, we have to investigate thoroughly as to what is the situation. Because I believe that, you start a relationship from foundation to finish. And in most cases, the finished product goes to somebody else, not the person who have the foundation, not the person who started the foundation with you. It goes to somebody else. So what kind of woman you would be to, according to these people, to build a home from scratch, raise your children and all of that, and then some woman coming to benefit your inheritance? How do you see that? So I am not too sure what your wife or ex-wife, because we have to keep it real as a professional show and not a personal show. And we have to determine what it is. Now, we saw men who at the workplace with the secretary having affairs with, right? The secretary and what's not, that is the work wife. You understand me? And if you dare come in, the woman there is who having the benefit, not the wife at home. You understand me? The work wife is who run things until further notice, right? When the wife call in, you're talking to your wife more than you're talking to me, and the girls out there give the men ultimatum. It's either me or your wife. You understand me? Yeah, you understand me? And all these things escalate. I mean, I don't know of your ex or your situation,
Mm.
But there are certain things that happen that men don't realize that they are the ones sometimes that start the whole conflict based on their mannerism and all of that, right? Now, as a big man, you know your wife is out the car. You need to open that door for your wife. Open the door, and what's that is called, according to mannerism, and it's called personal development. And in some case, where a man open a door and walk straight in without wondering if his wife need to be, take the bag out of the vehicle and all of that, people have to start looking at, because you came from a home expecting a man to be a total man, and don't have to raise that man to say, sweetheart, close the door, help me with the groceries, or whatever the case may be, right? You expect a man to come with all of this based on the background that he came from, right? And some of the men make some serious mistake in their homes. And when women go out there to find the love, to find the way that people would treat them and what's not, then we have serious problems. It's simple as that. You understand me? Why would a woman stay to a relationship that she feels very uncomfortable with just to say to society, I have a marriage? Does that make sense? So in these
It don't ever
cases,
make
sometimes we
sense.
feel, yeah, we feel that we did everything, and there should be some reason. Now, not to cut across the
Mm.
situation, where we have some women who definitely in their genes are not satisfied. No one man can satisfy them. It's two, three, or whatever. They have to lie, they thief, and they do everything to meet their satisfaction, right? And these are the sort of women. Now, sometimes what usually happens is that the men buy cosmetics and not beauty. Yeah, there's a big difference with enhancing. If I pull back my face, I like this, I show you're looking at a different look here,
Mm.
right? I do this, I can raise up the front, you see my full forehead, I'm doing this, you're seeing a different me. Not so? And so when you look at these cosmetics and what's not, say, boy, she look good. You understand me? And some of the men are getting married to women with beautiful shaped body, cosmetics and all of that, are not getting married to the personality, the person who, have the mindset to manage a relationship, how to take care of the children and that sort of thing. Looking at the background where they came from, looking at the parents that they came from, looking at the genes. You understand me? The men have no time for that. What they see before them is to eat. It's like you on the restaurant and you look at a menu and say, I'm eating this today. So you know what? You went to eat. Not forgetting that when that woman get up off the bed, what next? Is she capable of making you a good meal, something good to drink? Can she have a conversation to ask you about certain questions or your previous relationship that you've had? Is she ready to work along with you to help to build you personally or to build a family? We don't have those conversations anymore. It is just about you have a big butt, you have a hip, and it is so much in demand that we have beauty parlors now that are swelling up your lips, because you want to have kissable lips, keep your bust up and your thighs and what's not. And some of the women are dying under the needle because they want to have this look because they believe it is the only attraction that can make them get some rich man or something like that, or pursue some rich man. And I don't know if that was the case with you, because earlier on you mentioned that this lady was a very beautiful woman and that sort of thing. And this is the price that we pay, most of the times, because we are buying into cosmetics, not the total you. So I would like to know, in terms of that period of time that you have been engaged, what are some of the pointers and what are some of the things that you saw that brought you to this point of walking away? That is what I'd like to hear this morning.
All right. Let me use this phrase, mesmerize, right?
Yes.
Basically, most times people go out there, right, to attract whatever individual they choose to,
Yes.
but not recognizing you have baggages behind. They won't put
Yes.
the baggages in front, they'll put baggage behind. So you
Yes.
know pursuing this person and recognize afterwards, okay, I want to settle, right?
Yeah.
Now everybody in life you can hide, but there's a point in your life the truth does come out.
Yes, of course. I experienced that. The truth
Right.
must come out. Yes.
So what happens is that like I wasn't in love with this person. I was basically in a relationship with someone else that walk away from me. That
Yes.
the first time I ever believed as a man, it was so hurt, right? That was my as a young person.
Hmm?
Getting involved with her, the first thing I
Hmm.
remember, she told me she was pregnant. It was so scary. At 22 years, I gained a child.
Hmm.
So it was so scary.
Yes.
But like I said before, I said I grew up without parents. So this
Yes.
brought me to becoming a man before time.
Right.
I feel that responsibility seriously, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
all I wanted
Plain
to see
man.
a smile on my
Yeah.
kids, right? But then again, when you force
Yeah.
yourself into something that you're not ready for, after
Yes.
a period of time, like I said, it reveals itself. It cannot
Yes.
hide, right?
Right.
I started getting frustrated because what I wanted in life, a partner to work
Mm-hmm.
alongside me, meaning that at 22, go back to school, obtain your degree. I'm working,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You
Mm-hmm.
prefer to hang with friends. Friends was your life.
Yes.
When I trying to build bridges, you trying to tear down my bridge,
Yeah.
right? These are the things actually observing. I'm a Capricorn, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
very observant. And
Right.
when I recognize that this ain't working, this is when I decided to head to Boston to college, right?
Yes.
Because I tried business with her, wasn't interesting. They always had to have bring friends into my affair. So it's like
Yes.
I married in 3 person or 4 person, right? Who could tolerate that? Just the
Exactly.
times men will cheat, but I didn't have time for that. My thing is that
Right.
listen, my time is to prove to my enemies
Mm-hmm.
that I have worth, right? And I'm
Yes.
gonna make it, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this is what happened. Like I said, being away, everything started to reveal itself. Because when I send in yeah, every month
Yes.
that amount of money, my expectation for is that you take care of business. But
Yes.
your time was so occupied because you're collecting money and you don't know what to do with it. So more you entertain a friend, more you have friends, more you have friends, and the friends and them just destroying your life,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, is that the question you said? I can speak about myself. I can't speak about men who goes out,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point that you know what I had enough, right?
Yes.
To the
Mm-hmm.
point that you ever see big men cry? I used to
I
cry.
know. I know.
I used to
I
listen. I used to
saw.
cry. I used to
I
cry because you know
saw.
what?
Up
This is not
to
what I
up to
want.
recent time.
This
Yes.
is not what I want. I want a life for my kids, and I'm so
Right.
happy. I could say basically the time I left and left my job and came up here, right? I sacrificed my kids and them. They went back to college. They obtained their degree, right? They are
Yes.
professionals now. I have 6 grandkids. But
Wow.
me and my children don't have a relationship.
Yes.
You know why? Because the mother was lying to make them believe that I was not sharing my responsibility. They were doing it, right?
Yes.
So when I wrote my
Yes.
book and I exposed everything, everybody put
Uh-huh.
aside because they expecting that. I don't
Yes.
expect a child to go against his mother, but I had to defend me as a
Yes.
man, right?
Yes.
I had to defend me
All
as a
right.
man. So when I
Yes.
did basically when I wrote my book and exposed what was going on, right? They don't want to accept it. But
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I don't really care because you know what? I have to relieve this inside of me, right? Because
Yes.
men go crazy. You as a person from San Fernando, you would understand what I'm saying, right? You
Yes.
could
Of
remember
course.
some years ago, wait, on High Street, on Coffee Street, there's a guy who used to play trumpet.
Yes.
All right, this guy used to be about a bank playing trumpet. You know what he did? He used to live in
No.
England, sending his money every so often back to Trinidad, right? His
Yes.
expectation when he
Yes.
come home, everything would be smooth. When he went home, went back to Trinidad, right, to retire,
Yes.
his wife left the house, took everything, went to the bank. This gentleman went to the bank to collect his money. Not a cent.
Mhm.
It sent him crazy. He stood by that bank up to this day till he died, playing
Yes.
trumpet. So
Yeah.
men go through things and they don't have no one to talk to, right? They will keep it until they go crazy. When you see people walking around, right, it's stress to the point that, I'm saying, that's it.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
can I
not going to
ask
allow
you
that to happen to
to
me.
stick a pin there because we are into a different talk about stress, and if you can stick a pin right there,
Yeah.
and stress in itself that they said that create cancer and all of that. You know, every day you hear something new about stress, and it's a killer and that sort of thing. How do we eliminate and manage stress? And I say to people,
Mm-hmm.
start talking to yourself and let you say, if your neighbor said you is, according to these people, is a nasty person, that is in the minority because it's just she alone could see that. What happened to the others? You know, that is one of the things that I work with. You are in the minority. You're not in a position to judge or to elevate. Not elevate. Sorry, evaluate me, right? Because I saw a lot recently, a lot of games that people are playing so that they try to deal with your mental case. But they are having problems because the more that they do is the more that I take it to a next level. And so we reverse the psychology. For example, I am staging a show. You get to all my girls to ask them to drop out the show. You understand me? Then you go back, you start hitting, writing, and all of this, and to tell yourself, I can do for her. You understand me? That kind of thing. Spreading rumors, doing all
Addictive.
sorts of different
Mm-hmm.
things because I stayed on this program and made one statement and it upset people. So they decide to bowl me out of my stumps. You understand me? But I say to people always that no matter how hurt and how painful these things are, you have to give voice. You understand me? Like how you are giving voice this morning, as you said, you wrote your book so that no other young person could rush into things that they're not ready for. And listening to your introduction this morning, that tells me, and one of the things, you don't start before you're ready. That's it. Yeah. You know,
Exactly so.
that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
fact that you had to be away from your parents, growing up without your parents, and obviously you're looking for your second family to feel secure, for you to be in a home
Very
and
right.
to be a man at the same time. You know, you did this, you know, with the experience that, you know, that love will grow, and it did not. So you went on to partner number two, and what took place. Now, as Caribbean people, what we don't understand that we, for some reason, have created our own niche. We have created, you know, our own culture in the way that we do things, right? And what is expected in return. Now, what we are not looking at when we go out to places like America, Czechoslovakia, Brazil, it doesn't matter where, in an international capacity when it comes to relationship, right? We are not catering for the culture of those women because those women in United States will divorce you today, right? Without even looking back because their thing is about making money and being in a secure relationship that is strong, that can help them financially and otherwise. And you see, when they don't see that, they leave you right the
Let me
same
go on.
spot that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
met you.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
It is. It is fact.
you know. You
Miss
understand me?
Miss
So where
Miss
we in the
Freedom.
Caribbean, yeah, the Caribbean woman will cry. They will
Mm.
ask you, why are you doing this to me? Can I have another chance? And was not. Although they are the ones who created the problem, the woman still asking a question, why are you doing this to me?
They want
It's
closure. They
plain.
want
Your
closure.
time
Closure.
expire.
They want
Yeah, you
closure.
know.
Yeah.
The American woman will not talk to you. She will not ask you. She will not sit down with a conversation with you. Her thing
Mm.
is being satisfied financially. And once you're not to that level, then you're on your own. Yeah. And these are some of the things that the men, when they leave the Caribbean, they have to step in a different environment where they understand the capacity of any young person or any woman's mind. Yeah. You have, let's make reference to J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, who I believe coming up now would either be her fifth marriage. And you know that, right? And people talk about soul ties and what the spirit is still with you and what's not. This woman, whether it is she's attracting a certain quality of men, and she's not hesitating and what's not. And when they leave, it's millions of dollars when they have the divorce. So is it you know, the norm for you to get married to somebody, some wealthy man, and find a complaint and divorce him for money. And you know, this is some of the social issues that has to be corrected, especially with our Caribbean men who don't understand. When you go to these countries and what's not, the woman that you met in the Caribbean is different. And I'm speaking about you concerning your mindset, what you are expecting and what's not in the Caribbean. The woman here look and see, okay, you bringing in $3,000 every month. And 1 month you brought $2,000. They ask you what happened, why is it the money cut? And you know, this
But
is Caribbean woman. Why the money
I'll tell
cut?
you what, Miss
And
William, I think to be honest, what I
Americans
can
don't
say
have
about
time
that,
with that. Yes.
what I can say about that basically, marriage
Yes.
is not as before.
Mhm.
Marriage is more investment, right?
Mhm.
If you so happen to get that person, either
Yes.
male or female, that are willing to work with you, it's fine,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But nowadays is what you can give me.
Exactly.
You
What
understand?
you can give me. Yes.
Yeah. Because I tell you
I.
something, I met some, so I do a lot of counseling. I think I met some ageable people. I think, right? I met this woman at
Yes.
a time. She's about 90 something, and she said to me when her husband died, right? She went back to school, obtained a PhD in psychology, right? She never think about anybody else. She had one son. She took care of that little boy, right? Hoping that somebody he will in turn take care of her, but he ended up getting married. She placed all her money in his account. You know what he did?
Yes.
He took her and put her in a home and moved away
Yes.
to another state. Right? If
Wow.
you hear that woman talk, I feel so hurt for that
Yes.
woman. But then
Mhm.
again, we don't realize what goes on comes around. Right?
Exactly.
People hurt you today, not realizing that you see that clock on the wall that clicking, 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 it will come back
Yes.
someday to them. So I
Yes.
reach a point in my life, you talk about stress. I can never be stressful. You know what I do most of the times? I get
Mhm.
up in the morning, I go hiking for 2, 3 miles,
Yes.
right? I go to the gym, right? I have my clients and then during the day.
Mhm.
I occupy myself in a way that nothing will get in my
Cannot.
way
Yes.
whatsoever. If
That
I
is so
can
good.
have a relationship, I will remove myself. No matter
Yes.
what you're trying to tell me, I'm going to remove myself. It's not
Yes.
because I'm weak, it's because I'm saving time and your time.
Yes. Yes. I understand. And that's the best way. Now, in your book, let's take a little look because we are now eight, let's look at the time here. It is 8:58. That does not give us enough time, but we can continue this program, right? And let us take this opportunity to remind the viewers you are viewing Good Morning SVG. My name is Pearl Williams, and of course, this program comes to you from Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. This morning, we are having a conversation with Mr. Steve Charles, a writer and an author who did his very best to tell his story through his book. And we'll talk about this book by giving us the name of the book, where persons can, is this book being sold at any
Amazon,
particular, yes,
Amazon,
Amazon
most,
and
well,
that
I
sort
know
of
in
thing.
America, most
Yeah,
of the bookstores in America, but Amazon, you get on Amazon, Be Different, They Not Like Me by Stephen
yes,
Charles, right?
right,
I also should make mention, graduating from college, I created
yes,
a device that is used in New York right now, but I could not
yes,
patent it, right?
uh-huh,
Because I went to a lawyer and they said it make no sense going through that patent because you wouldn't win, right?
yes,
It's like a if you have been to New York, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you're driving and you head into pushing a traffic light, you have to brake at least 15 miles per hour, right?
yes,
So if you don't brake 50 miles per hour, you'll get a ticket. You can take a picture or your plate and send a ticket for you, right? This is
yes.
what I designed, but they modify it. But I have the blueprints and everything for it,
Okay.
right? So
So
this
we
is
are
one of
running,
my hmm?
yeah, we're running a little bit out of
Yeah, I know.
time,
So we gotta
and
go. So this is basically what I'm saying.
yeah,
So,
we
right?
would like to have a second interview with you because we are not done. And I think people are getting a drift of this. this conversation. And we really like to continue this conversation this week, so that we bring you on, Mr. Charles, because it is an honor to have you as a man on our program, giving advice to young people. If you are not ready, don't start. Yeah.
Never.
The fact that there's so many different ways in which to put yourself in order, having proper education, getting yourself stable and grounded in your job where you can provide well for your family, and also engaging in, like little conferences, little programs and what's not, if you don't know how to treat somebody, or, what is love and how it should be executed, or whatever the case may be, to put you in that advancement so that, you don't have problems down the road. All right. Are you ready? You understand, to be committed totally or not? How do you respond and how do you respect your spouse? What are the painful things that keep coming out of your mouth? Your painful movement, your painful rejection, everything that you give, it's pain. It's a sick person who will try to make sure they go to the extent to make sure that the spouse do not experience any level of happiness. It is called hate. It is called scorn and other things. And if this is you, and you in such of a relationship, you need to find a way to be happy. You understand me? And like I said to you, it was amazing. When I saw this man, this half Muslim, I sent the thing to my husband. I think I sent it to you, right? To show you that a gentleman told me that he has 2 towers in Dubai.
Oh
You
yeah, you
understand
told us.
me?
Yeah.
2 towers. Yeah, 2 towers in Dubai. And he has a piece of land and what's not. He saw the program and he wants to know if I can be his fiance and all sort of drama sent on my page. I said, listen, it doesn't make sense a woman in a house that is so big and she's not happy. You're not going to put me in any position and was not to take me from my marriage and my home, to put me in some place. And when you fall
For
out, you
material
tell
things.
people
Yeah.
that you took me out of my situation or on the street or whatever. You know how these men talk, right?
Yeah.
I am comfortable in my space, having my children and what's not. I mean, my husband is not here every day and what's not. But when we meet, we're happy. You understand me? You come in to bring all this proposal. The man said he looked at this program. And I want to tell you, miss, that you're on point and you're very outstanding. You understand me? And this is what he'll do. And then said to me, would you like me to send you a ticket? And so that you and I could know each other better and what's not. I have all those things. I sent it to my husband for him to read, and say, boy, I didn't know I can attract these kind of men. You understand me? And the proposal went on. The man asked me, do you have a credit
got it
card?
going.
And all these things, do you have a credit card and what's not? And I said, you know what? This is the kind of proposal the women buy into. And when they leave here, they find them somewhere dead under some bush or something, because they go out with them and have a good time and say, boy, I feel like I could eat this food. And when they eat your food, your family don't see them. And you have so much women leaving the home and say they're going by this and by that and other. They have invitation where they go and what's not. Ashamed to talk. When they find their body in certain places, they start to throw up their hands. My wife wasn't this person. She's not this person. It's foul play and what's not. No, your wife involved in relationships. And the man, when he called, you cannot leave your husband home without attending. You have to go down and meet him, right? And the people sometimes fed up with this kind of stupidness. It's either you or I, or me or you. And they give you an ultimatum. And if you choose your spouse, they send somebody to kill you. Because they started enjoying you. They like how you taste. They like how you look. They like all of this.
Well,
and in order to move.
Listen, I know we had to go just now, but I want to, next session, I will tell you about how my brother got murdered.
Yes.
Right?
Right. In the next section.
You see, just what you said, the last words you used, right? I will tell you exactly how it went down.
Right. Okay. So, yes, I would love to have you back on the program because I think.
Give me a call and we'll chat.
Yes, right? we can champion this. We can let people know exactly what is happening, because the social issue what we face here, especially in St. Vincent, relationships and what's not. Our Prime Minister would have indicated some time ago that these men are speaking to high-profile women, right, and would like to thief and rob in order to meet their demands, maintaining these women, high maintenance women. You want to go to the dentist. Yes, you're going to go to the dentist.
It will
That's
never
right.
last. It's
Yes.
just temporary comfort, and people don't understand that once you are on a temporary comfort, you will
Yeah.
never succeed in life. Work
Exactly.
towards your goals,
Yes.
and that's my belief, right? But anyhow, nice
Yes.
meeting you. Nice being in your program.
Nice to hear
I
your
have
voice. It's
joy. So,
nice
like, you
having
could
you.
call me anytime, and we could continue this conversation,
Yes, let's
right?
continue this conversation. It's a very
Right.
fruitful one, I believe. And what happened on this program, if the people are not seeing us live, when you check back, you see 200 views, 300 views, and what's not. People might send you a comment or they send you an email, and I've had quite a lot of that. And like to thank all the people around the world. We saw some Mr. Fleming from Argentina on our line. We saw St. Croix, St. Thomas. We saw Cayman Islands. We'd like to reach out to all the folks who have been reaching out to us and encouraging us to keep this program where it is. All right. Let us use this opportunity, Mr. Charles. It's always a pleasure, especially when, I meet my own people from San Fernando. And let's talk about the athletics back then, how the
Yeah,
discipline was as opposed to now.
that's exciting. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yes, let's do that. All right.
All right.
I'm hoping to have Ian Morris on the program and also,
Ian
well,
Morrison,
I
we
think,
went to school together. We went to school together.
yes, Ian Morris.
Yeah,
Let's see if we could find,
we went to school together.
yes, right. Let's see if we could find Ian Morris. Let's see if we can find Hazley Crawford,
All right,
and
we'll
let's
see.
have a
Yeah, he's
conversation.
yeah. That'll be nice,
Yeah,
man. All right.
nice. Yeah. All
All right,
right. Well, keep
sisters.
looking good. I mean, you still have hope. You still a very handsome man.
Thank you so
And I
much. I
still
appreciate
believe,
that. Yeah,
yes, yes. And I still believe as a man, you have so much to offer. But just take your time. All right.
I do.
So all
I
the
do.
best to
Trust me.
you. And I
Nice
look
to meet
forward to
you.
speaking to you very soon.
All
All
right, Miss
right.
Williams. Have a wonderful
Okay.
day.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Okay.
wonderful.
Bye. Bye. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been speaking to Mr. Stephen Charles, and we are so delighted to have you in our company. Please tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We will be here, and we will continue the conversation. All right. We are sort of changing the jibs a little. I told you guys coming up this week, we'll have a couple of interviews. And coming up very soon on Monday, we do have a massive company that is in Turkey will be on our program come this next week. And they are speaking about their cosmetics line that they are, producing and is also selling throughout the region. All right, so stay tuned. Tomorrow, please God, we do also have one of our contestants who will be joining us to talk about the readiness and the preparedness for Miss Plus Size Universe. All right, until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I send you peace. And, we would like to remind you that our school children are on the street to exercise caution, and also our senior citizens who are on the street who could not understand the decimal point know that they can see the incoming traffic. We ask you to exercise humanity to our senior citizen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be aware of your surrounding. Do not get involved in any unproductive conversation that could result in argument and stab up and all of that. All right. If you see a child loitering on the road and is out of school, ask them please to get home or to get something productive to do. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to the end of the program. This is your girl signing out, sending you peace until 8 o'clock tomorrow. Bye.